Hey y'all, I'm hopping on to talk about core recruitment. So I'm going to go through a couple of things that are not the right way to recruit the core muscles, the deep core muscles, and then the right way to do it. But I want to start by saying that I think as instructors and therapists, we often miss the point of telling people that's not what you want to do all day long in everything you're doing constantly. So no muscle wants to contract the entire day. Imagine carrying around a kettlebell with your bicep all day long. You're not going to be stronger. It's just going to be pissed off. And then you can't move your arm in other ways, right? So think about bracing your abdominals all the time. Then how are we going to rotate when we run? How are we going to side bend and do all kinds of other things without other muscles, other joints taking too much of the load? So we want these muscles, the deep core muscles, they are anticipatory muscles. So you want them to turn on and off when they should without you really thinking about it. And so now I'm not talking about like if I'm going to lift something heavy. I want to think about it, right? Especially if I'm having pain. So, but in just everyday activities, in standing up from a chair, in walking, running, even, I would argue even in a little bit heavier activities, those muscles need to come on when they should, come off when they should, and be working all together in order to have nice fluid movement. So stop bracing all day, stop sucking in your stomach. There's another thing. I think as women, we think, well, we have to be have flat stomachs, so we start to brace and over brace those abdominals, and then we're not moving very well. So a couple of different things, different mistakes that I see made is, number one, we say to tighten your core and people bear down. So if you'll watch here, and I don't know, you might zoom in, and if you'll watch here, if I bear down, I'm getting pressure out here and pressure into the pelvic floor. So this could cause pelvic floor issues, and if you already have pelvic floor issues, this is going to be an issue. This is going to be a problem. So then if you go to pick something up and all you're doing is bearing all that pressure down, not good, okay? So the second thing is sucking in, over bracing too much. So if you'll, here's an example of that. So I'm sucking in, I'm making myself as flat as possible, I'm super braced. If you can tell, my voice is a little different, I can't breathe very well. My shoulders are rounded forward and elevated. My neck muscles are on. I'm all kinds of tight and tense, right? So like there's your kind of neck issues, shoulder tightness, all of that stuff. So if we're doing this all day, not good, right? So here is, I'll demonstrate the proper way that you should be recruiting your core. And this is with exercise. When we tell you to do it in class, you could kind of tune into it throughout the day to practice. So that's another point we want to make here, is that in order to train anticipatory muscles to come on when we want them to, but not necessarily telling them to all day long, we train them. We train them with breathing, recruiting them as we breathe. We train them with recruiting them as we do movements in classes and in doing our exercises. And then over time, we should be able to go about our day and those muscles are starting to remember when they are supposed to come on and when they don't need to. So, proper way to recruit. You can start by training with the breath. So you're inhaling, and I want everything to relax. Inhale. You feel that pelvic floor come down. You feel this expansion, abdominals, rib cage, everything. Let it come out. Stop with the flat stomachs. And then as you breathe in, you want to feel this flattening and widening. And hat tip to Megan Brown, I love this cue, a smile underneath your belly button. So I'm from the side. And I'm getting this flattening. No, I don't have a perfectly flat stomach. Who cares? I'm getting this flattening of these muscles. They're coming on, they're recruiting, they're stabilizing my spine. Guess what is relaxed? Shoulders, neck, all of that. So you're breathing in, and breathing out. Feeling that lifting, slight gentle lift, pelvic floor, all of this kind of widens. And that is the more proper way to do that. So something that you can watch for in like a Pilates class, if you're on your back, say, and you're doing like dead bug type exercises, then you want to watch for that flattening and widening, and you want to be able to keep that. If you start to get doming, then the exercise might be a little bit too hard, or you might want to come back to that exhale and feel that flattening and widening to try and recruit those deep muscles so those big outer doming muscles don't take over. That's end of my rant.